So hi everyone, welcome to the series of lectures on signals and systems. In the last class we started the convolution concept. So this is the convolution concept. So we completed the analytical method of convoluting the two signals in the time domain. Now what is the convolution? The convolution is nothing but the mathematical operation, which is the integral operation. So for what? For finding the response of the system. So this is your response, which is your output of the system. So this is your system. Here x of t is the input. So h of t is the system transfer function. So if you convert h of t into the frequency domain, we'll get the transfer function of the system. So h of t is impulse response. So impulse response of the system. So the convolution main objective is to find out the response of the system. So for the given input and the impulse response of the system In the problem, the input is given, x of t is given, and impulse response is also given, h of t is also given. So we have to find out the response of the system, which is y of t. Now how can we find out the response of the system? The response of the system is nothing but the convolution of the two signals. If we perform the convolution of the two signals, so we will get what? We will get the response of the system y of t. The convolution of two signals will produce a new signal. Here y of t is a new signal. X of t is input and h of t is the impulse response of the system. How can you perform this operation, the convolution operation? So simply integrating minus infinity to plus infinity. So x of tau into h of t minus tau d tau. So using the integral operation, so we'll get the response of the system for the given input and the impulse response of the system. Now how to perform this integral operation? So to perform this integral operation, we have two methods. One is analytical method. So in the last class I explained this the analytical methods. So analytical method is already over in the last class. To perform this integral operation, so we use the analytical method or we use the graphical method. So the graphical method of convolution of the two signals. So in this class I am going to explain you the graphical method of convoluting the two signals in the time domain. This is nothing but the graphical convolution. So graphical method of convoluting the two signals in the time domain. So the graphical method is nothing but the procedure to calculate the output. To evaluate your integral, so we have to use the analytical method or we have to use the graphical method. As the name itself, in the name itself it is given, this is a graphical convolution. That means, so instead of the signals representing in the mathematical expression, here x of t is given in terms of the mathematical expression, which is u of t plus 2, and h of t is given in terms of the mathematical expression, which is u of t minus 3. In the problem it is given with the mathematical expressions x of t and h of t. But using the graphical method, so we represent these signals, whatever the signals we have, the input and the impulse response, we represent both the signals in the graph. With the help of the graphs, we evaluate this integral operation. With the help of graphs with respect to your input and with respect to your impulse response, we evaluate this integral. Therefore this is a graphical method of convoluting the two signals. Now you just follow the 5 steps. For any type of problem. You just follow the 5 steps. So the step number 1 is how to perform this integral operation. This is very, very important. Graphical convolution. The formula is very, very important. You just remember this formula. See, graphical convolution. This is the formula. Very, very important formula. So we need to evaluate this integral operation using the graphical method. So for that we follow the 5 steps. At the 5th step we will get the answer. at the 5th step. Now the step number 1 is, if we observe the integral operation, here we have x of tau and h of tau are the signals. But in the problem x of t is given and h of t is given. Therefore to get x of tau and h of tau, you just replace t by another variable which is tau. So that you will get what? So you will get x of tau So we'll get x of tau. What is your x of tau now? X of tau is equal to u of tau plus 2. U of tau plus 2. So that is your x of tau. Now what is your h of tau? To perform this integral operation, we need x of tau and h of tau. But in the problem, x of t is given and h of t is given. So the first step is we just replace t by a dummy variable tau. By a dummy variable tau. Instead of t, I consider here tau is the variable. So h of tau is what? So h of tau is, so u of tau minus 3. So this is your h of tau. Here x of tau is given. X of t is given. And also h of t is given. So x of t is u of t plus 2. So when you replace t by tau in this equation, we will get x of tau. So we will get h of tau after replacing t by tau. So h of tau is what? So u of t minus 3. U of t minus 3. So I just replace t by a dummy variable in the step 1, and for this you just plot the graphs, corresponding graphs for x of tau and h of tau, because this is a graphical method. So you just plot the graphs of x of tau and h of tau. How can you plot x of tau and h of tau graph? So this is the unit step function. This is the unit step function. Already you know what is the unit step function. So unit step function is u of tau. So that is equal to what? So 1 for tau is greater than 0, and it is 0 for tau is less than 0. Here I simply replace t by another variable tau. Now what is u of tau? So what is the representation of u of tau? So this is your u of tau. So it is defined for 1 for tau is ranging from 0 to infinity. So it is represented with magnitude is 1. So that is the magnitude of u of tau. So which is equal to 1 for tau is greater than 0. For tau is greater than 0. Remember here the variable is tau, not t, because I replace t by tau. Now here I want x of tau which is equal to u of tau plus 2. So u of tau plus 2. How can you plot u of tau plus 2? So x of tau is nothing but, here u is nothing but unit step function. How can you plot u of tau plus 2? When it is plus means we shift the unit step function. This is the unit step function. We shift this unit step function left hand side. Left hand side by how many units? By 2 units. By 2 units. Therefore your u of tau plus 2 is like this. So this is your u of tau plus 2. So this is your u of tau plus 2, which is equal to what? So x of tau. So your x of tau is nothing but u of tau plus 2. U of tau plus 2 is nothing but we shift this u of tau, which is your unit step function, by left hand side by 2 units. Now what is this? This is minus 2. So this is the axis of tau axis. So with respect to tau axis, we shift this signal left hand side. This is the left hand side shifting operation. It is plus. Whenever it is minus, it is right hand side shifting operation. So left hand side shifting operation is called what? So the advance in the time operation. So this is your x of tau. This is your x of tau. Now what about your h of tau? So what about your h of tau? Your h of tau is what? U of tau minus 3. U of tau minus 3. That means you shift your u of tau. So this is your u of tau. So you shift your u of tau, which is unit step function, towards the right hand side by how many units? By 3 units. So this is your graphical convolution is nothing but with the help of the graphs. So we are going to evaluate this integral operation. Previously we evaluated this integral operation by the mathematical procedure. Now we evaluate this integral operation using the graphs. So using the graphs. Now this is your h of tau. So your h of tau is equal to u of tau minus 3. So u of tau minus 3. So how can you plot u of tau minus 3? So you just shift to u of tau by 3 units to the right hand side. So this is your u of tau minus 3. Here tau is equal to what? 3. So this is your tau axis. This is your tau axis. This is your 0. So here it is 1 because it is an unit step function. This is the value of magnitude of u of tau minus 3 is what? 1. 1 is the magnitude because it is the unit step function with weight 1. So this is your h of tau. This is the first step. In the process of finding the response, we just follow the following steps. We have 5 steps. So in the first step, this is step 1. So in this step 1, we just replace t by a dummy variable, and we have to find x of tau and h of tau, the corresponding signals in the tau domain. In the tau domain, we find out the corresponding signals, and we just develop the plots of x of tau and h of tau. So this is your x of tau and this is your h of tau. So this is this completes the step 1. This completes the step 1. So in the step 2, here if you observe the integral operation, here we have what? X of tau is there. So we'll get x of tau. So we multiply x of tau with what? H of t minus tau. You just observe this integral operation. So in the integral operation, if we observe, so we have the multiplication of x of tau and h of t minus tau. We have the multiplication of x of tau and h of t minus tau. And the product of the multiplication we are going to integrate in between minus infinity to plus infinity with respect to the tau. You just observe the integral operation. You can easily realize. Now x of tau we already find out. This is your x of tau. In the step 1 we find out the x of tau signal. Now we are going to find out h of t minus tau. For that we develop h of tau. So h of tau is already developed. Now in the step 2, so this is your step number 2. Let us clearly observe the step number 2. So this is your step number 2. So in the step number 2, I want to develop h of t minus tau. I want h of t minus tau. So because I am going to multiply x of tau with h of t minus tau. So for that I want h of t minus tau. How can I develop h of t minus tau? First, in the step 2, so we have to find the h of minus tau. So that is your step 2. After finding h of minus tau, we are going to find out h of t minus tau. In the step 3, we are going to find out h of t minus tau. So in the integral operation, so we have the product of x of tau and h of t minus tau. Clearly observe the integral operation. Here x of tau is multiplied by h of t minus tau. So in the step 1, we already find out x of tau. So x of tau is already we find out. How can you find out x of tau? You just replace t by a dummy variable tau. So whatever the problem is given, you just follow all these 5 steps, same steps. So h of tau we already find out. This is your h of tau. So in the step 2, in the process of finding h of t minus tau, first you need to find out h of minus tau. So h of minus tau. How can you find out h of minus tau? How can you find out the h of minus tau? You know h of tau. How can you find out h of minus tau? This is nothing but the reciprocal operation. So your h of tau, I just plot your h of tau. For the step 2, your x of tau is same. So whatever the x of tau in the first step, we have the same signal in the second step, x of tau. Now how can you plot the h of minus tau? So this is your h of minus tau. How can you plot x of minus tau? Already you know the folding operation. So this is your tau axis. How can you find out the h of minus tau? You just perform the folding operation about the y-axis. Now your h of minus tau is what? So this is your h of minus tau. So it is only defined from -3. So for tau is less than -3. So it is only defined. Here it is defined for tau is greater than 3. So if you do the folding operation, your h of minus tau is defined for tau is less than -3. So whenever the tau is less than -3, its magnitude is 1. This is your h of minus tau. H of minus tau. The step number 2 is completed. So very simple. So I want x of tau multiplied by h of t minus tau. So in the process, x of tau I already find out. So h of t minus tau I am going to find out, because I am going to multiply these two signals, x of tau and h of t minus tau. And the result of this multiplication I am going to integrate So with respect to the d tau, that is our convolution operation. So in the process of finding h of t minus tau, I find out h of minus tau. So h of minus tau is nothing but the folding operation of h of tau. Or time reversal operation of h of tau. So what is the time reversal operation? You just take the mirror image of the signal about the y-axis. So what is the mirror image of this signal about the y-axis? This is nothing but the mirror image. So therefore I got this h of minus tau. So when after getting h of minus tau, step 2 is completed. So we completed the step number 2. Step number 2 is completed. Now in the step 3. So this is your step 3. So let us clearly observe the step number 3. Step 3 is I want to find out h of t minus tau. How can I find out h of t minus tau? You just perform the shifting operation on h of minus tau. So how can you perform the shifting operation? Here h of t minus tau I can rearranging like this. Minus I will take common because h of tau minus t. So I can rearranging the h of t minus tau like this. So h of I take common minus here, minus of tau minus t. So why? Because we are performing the shifting operation. We perform the shifting operation with respect to the tau only, not with respect to minus tau. Always whatever the operation we are going to perform, whether the operation is time scaling or time reversal, you just perform with respect to the tau axis only, not with respect to minus tau. Therefore I take this minus as the common here. Therefore with respect to tau, your h of minus tau is shifted t units to the right hand side. So that is your h of t minus tau. Now when you shift to this h of minus tau right hand side by t units, now how can we represent your h of t minus tau? So with respect to the graph, how can we represent? So your h of t minus tau, this is your h of t minus tau. You just understand the concept h of t minus tau. How can you get h of t minus tau? It is a tau axis. Remember here it is tau axis. So we perform the time shifting operation with respect to tau only, not with respect to minus tau. Therefore I take here minus as the common, minus of tau minus t. So with respect to tau, your signal h of minus tau is shifted right hand side by t units. So this is your signal. You just shift your h of minus tau right hand side by t units. Whenever you shift h of minus tau right hand side by t units, so you just get this signal. This signal is like this. So this is your signal. You just add t to minus 3. So this is your 1. You just observe the signal h of t minus tau. How can we get h of t minus tau? This is important step. This is very important step. H of t minus tau I want. So h of t minus tau can be obtained by shifting h of minus tau to the right hand side by t units, because the shift is here t units, small t units. Therefore you need to add t to minus 3. So the signal is shifted towards the right hand side, but here I can write here the signal is at this position. So why? Because with respect to your t, your signal is moving from minus infinity to plus infinity. So this signal is not constant signal. So whereas this x of tau signal is constant, a constant signal. But if you observe this signal h of t minus tau, based on your t value, this signal is going to be moved from minus infinity to infinity. Whenever the t is minus infinity, the signal starts here. So whenever the t is 4, the signal starts here at 1. So like that I considered the signal in this position. I considered the signal in this position. So actually the signal is shifted like this. Signal shifted towards the right hand side, and we need to represent t minus 3 here. So I consider here t minus 3. Depends on the t value. Depends on the t value. You can represent this signal position at anywhere from minus infinity to plus infinity range. So that is the observation you need to observe here. So why I am going to take my signal at this position, you can realize in the next step. You can realize in the next step. That is your h of t minus tau. That is your h of t minus tau. So this is your third step. This is your third step. So to perform the integral operation, you just follow the 5 steps. In the step 1, so you just replace t by dummy variable tau, so that you will get x of tau and h of tau. So I represent x of tau and h of tau using the graphs. These are the representations of x of tau and h of tau. And in the next step, so if you observe this integral operation, x of tau is multiplied by h of t minus tau. Therefore, I want h of t minus tau. For that, perform the folding operation on the h of tau. You just perform the folding operation on the h of tau, so that I will get h of minus tau. So this is your step 2. So after getting the h of minus tau, you just shift this h of minus tau by t units to the right hand side, so that I will get h of t minus tau. Now x of tau, I got x of tau, and h of t minus tau I got. So these are the two signals I got. X of tau, this is your h of t minus tau. This is your h of t minus tau. Now in the next step, in the fourth step, I am going to multiply these two signals. For that, I am going to represent these two signals in the same graph. So just look into the fourth step. So up to the third step, it is completed. Next, just go for the fourth step. So while representing the fourth step, so you represent your x of tau. This is your step number 4. Just observe x of tau is already we got x of tau, and in the step number 4, you just multiply your x of tau with h of t minus tau. Therefore, these two signals are represented on the same graph. So like this. So this is my graph, consists of both the signals. The graph is ranging from minus infinity to plus infinity. Remember, this is the tau axis, and here on the y-axis we have x of tau and h of t minus tau. Now what is your x of tau? So your x of tau is what? So your x of tau, previous slide if you observe, so your x of tau is, so you just observe the x of tau in the previous slide. So this is your x of tau. So your x of tau is u of t plus 2. So x of tau is u of tau plus 2. So this is your x of tau. So let me draw the x of tau. So this is your x of tau. This is a minus 2. So this is your x of tau. Already I have drawn the x of tau. So this is 1. For tau is greater than minus 2. This is range of tau. So this is your x of tau. This signal is fixed signal. X of tau is fixed signal. This h of t minus tau is moving signal. Based on the t value, we need to represent this h of t minus tau. So let us represent this h of t minus tau from minus infinity. So in this way, left hand side, because we are going to move this h of t minus tau. So whenever the h of t minus tau is moving, so in the process it is going to overlap with your x of tau. Now what is your h of t minus tau? So this is your h of t minus tau. So what is this point? So this point is nothing but t minus 3. So this is t minus 3, and this is magnitude is 1. So this is your, so h of t minus tau, based on the t value. So it is going to move. I am considering the movement from left hand side to right hand side. So whenever the t is minus infinity, it is starting from minus infinity. Whenever the t decreases its value, so it is going to move in this direction. So but it is defined up to t minus 3 only. Now it is going to define from tau is greater than minus 2, from tau is greater than minus 2. Now if you observe this arrow indicates this h of t minus tau signal is moving. So why it is moving? So it is moving because here t is going to change. Whenever the t is going to change, so this signal is moving from left hand side to right hand side, Suppose t is 4, so this signal is defined at 1. So this is at 1. So t is 4 means what? 4 minus 3 is what? 1. So this signal is defined at this position. So like that you can imagine. So this h of t minus tau signal is moving from minus infinity to plus infinity. So during this movement, this h of t minus tau signal is going to overlap on our x of tau signal. So whenever there is a overlap happen, so at that only we'll get the output. The product of these two signals. Without overlap, how can we get the product of the result? X of tau is going to multiplied by h of t minus tau. So whenever there is a overlap of h of t minus tau on this x of tau, then only we'll get the product of x of tau and h of t minus tau. Now if you observe here, this is your fourth step. In the fourth step, you need to represent both these signals on the same axis. So this is the representation of your x of tau and h of t minus tau on the same axis. The axis here is tau. So we are going to represent both the signals on the same axis. You need to consider h of t minus tau on the left hand side. Of this signal x of tau, because your h of t minus tau is going to move from minus infinity to plus infinity. In the process of moving h of t minus tau, it is going to overlap with the x of tau. So whenever there is a overlap, so at that only we will get the multiplication product, the result of this multiplication. So that is your fourth step. Now, so this is the fifth step, last step. How can you evaluate this integral operation? So integral is nothing but minus infinity to plus infinity. So x of tau, h of t minus tau d tau. This is the integral operation. So this is your output y of t. Now you just observe here. So whenever t minus 3 here, t is less than minus 2, that means this one minus 2. That means what? So when t is less than 1, so is there any overlap of h of t minus tau on this signal x of tau? Let us imagine here. Let's just imagine here. So whenever this t minus 3, this instant t minus 3 is less than minus 2, so this is very important. So whenever this instant, this signal defined h of t minus tau instant is t minus 3. So whenever this t minus 3 is less than minus 2, that means your t is less than 1. So whenever the t is less than 1, is there any overlap of this signal h of t minus tau on this signal x of tau? No, definitely not. There is no overlap because the signal is up to defined from minus 2 only. This signal is moving up to minus 2 only. So this signal is not moving after the minus 2, because there is a constant t minus 3 is less than minus 2. I consider the constant here like this. T minus 3 is less than minus 2 means what? This signal is traveling up to minus 2 only. So whenever this signal is traveling up to minus 2, there is no overlap of this signal on this signal. Therefore, what about the result? Of this product? The result of this product is equal to 0. So x of tau into h of t minus tau. So what is the product of this result? So the product of this result is equal to 0 because there is no overlap. When there is no overlap, the product is simply equal to 0. That means your x of tau is 0 for tau is less than minus tau. Your x of tau is 0 and your h of t minus tau is 0 for t minus 3. So this is 0 for this instant. T is less than 1. Therefore the product is 0. So whenever the product is 0, so what about the integral operation? So when you do the integral operation, since the product is 0, so what about the integral operation? So what about your output? Whatever your output, our output is also going to be 0. Your output is also going to be 0. So this is happening for t is less than 1. So for t less than 1, your output becomes 0. Your output becomes 0 because there is no overlap of h of t minus tau on the x of tau signal. Now if I consider this t minus 3 instant, let us observe this t minus 3 instant, because this is the only moving signal, this is the fixed signal. So this signal is fixed. There is no movement of this signal x of tau. Only this signal is going to be move from left hand side to right hand side, from minus infinity to plus infinity. So in the process of moving, this signal is going to overlap on this signal. If I consider t minus 3 is less than minus 2, there is no overlap of these two signals. Therefore, the output is going to be 0. The output is going to be 0. Now if I consider t minus 3, so t minus 3 is greater than minus 2. That means what? Your t is greater than 1. If t is greater than 1, so let us clearly observe. I will draw the graph here for this case. Definitely there is an overlap of these two signals. So those two signals are going to be overlap. So for this t is greater than 1. So whenever the t is greater than 1, so if I consider t equal to 2, it is minus 1. Therefore, the signal is at this position minus 1. So instead of signal defined at this point, now the signal is defined at this point. There is an overlap of this signal. So this is x of tau and this is h of t minus tau. So whenever your t is greater than 1, so this is your x of tau. So this is constant. Your x of tau is constant. Sorry, this is x of tau. It is minus 2. So it is minus 2. So let us. So this is your x of tau. This is minus 2. So this is your x of tau. And I consider h of t minus tau for t is greater than 1. So whenever the time t is greater than 1, so there is an overlap of the signal. Definitely there is a overlap of the signal. So this is your h of t minus 3. So this is your h of t minus tau signal. Because t is greater than 1, I consider t is greater than 1. So whenever I consider t is greater than 1, so this h of t minus tau is defined after minus 2. Therefore, I considered here t minus 3 here. Therefore, these two signals are going to be overlapped from minus 2 to t minus 3. So this is the region of the overlap. What is the region of the overlap? Minus 2 to up to the t minus 3. So whatever the t value you considered, so up to that time instant, both the signals are going to be overlap. So at this, so we will get the product of x of tau and h of t minus tau. So at this interval minus 2 to t minus 3, so we will get the product of x of tau and h of t minus tau. What is the product of x of tau and h of t minus tau during the interval minus 2 to t minus 3? So before this minus 2, the product is 0. Because there is no x of tau signal. For tau is less than minus 2. So after this also, so the product is 0 because there is no signal. So the signal h of t minus tau is defined up to t minus 3 only. So after the t minus 3 instant, there is no signal h of t minus tau. Therefore, the product is 0. Therefore, so while finding the output, you just consider the interval minus 2 to, so here minus 2 to t minus 3. No need to consider minus infinity to minus 2 because one of your signal is going to be 0. 0 is multiplied by anything is 0. Therefore, no need to consider that interval minus 2 infinity to minus 2. So only consider the interval minus 2 to t minus 3. So t minus 3 to infinity no need to consider. Here also the product is 0. Only consider the overlapping region intervals which are your minus 2 to t minus 3. So during the interval minus 2 to t minus 3, what is the product of x of tau and h of t minus tau? Your x of tau is 1 and h of 2 t minus tau is also 1 because both the magnitudes are equal during the interval. So the product is equal to 1. So x of tau and h of tau is equal to 1. So we need to integrate with respect to d tau. We need to integrate with respect to d tau. Now what is the result? So integral 1 d tau is what? So 1 d tau is tau. So what about the limits minus t to t minus 3? So when you substitute the limits, upper limit is t minus 3. So minus of minus 2 is nothing but you will get what? So t minus 1. So this is your t minus 1. So this is happens for t is greater than 1. T is greater than 1. So whenever the t is greater than 1, so your h of t minus tau signal is going to overlap on this x of tau, on this x of tau. So this is the overlap. This is the overlap. So if I consider t equal to 2, t equal to 2, so this signal is only defined up to minus 1, up to minus 1. So this is the moment of your signal h of t minus tau. Your signal is h of t minus tau is defined only up to the instant t minus 3 for t is greater than 1. For t is greater than 1. So if you consider the overlapping intervals, the overlapping intervals are minus 2 to t minus 3. So only I consider the overlapping intervals. So at that intervals only, in between these two intervals only, I got the multiplication of x of tau and h of t minus tau, which is 1. So which is 1. So integral 1 is tau. So if you substitute the limits of the integration, so you will get what? T minus 1. You will get t minus 1 is the your output. This is for t is greater than 1. This is for t is greater than 1. So finally, so I got my output like this. So your output y of t is what? So your output y of t is equal to, so y of t equal to 0 for t is less than 1, and your output y of t is equal to t minus 1, t minus 1 for what? For t is greater than 1, for t is greater than 1. So this is your output. So this is your output y of t. So I can represent this y of t in terms of the unit step function. So like this, u of y of t is equal to t minus 1 into, it is defined for t greater than 1. So u of t minus 1. So like that I can represent your output function. So instead of representing t greater than 1, it is t minus 1. You need to represent, so in terms of the unit step function like this, t minus 1 times u of t minus 1. So this is your output. This is your output. This is your output. This is the result of your convolution. This is the result of your convolution. You just follow all these 5 steps. You analyze the 5 steps. You can easily understand the process of the overlapping. So that we'll get the output. This is about the graphical convolution of the two signals in the time domain. Graphical convolution of the two signals in the time domain. So this is all for this class. See you in